your daily Philadelphia Eagles podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
So now I thought, let's project the 53-man roster. Let's see right now, and it's way too early because training camp does win a lot of guys' jobs, but I want to see who is on the roster bubble, who I think would make the cut if the roster breakdown happened today, and then get to offense and defense throughout the show. So that's what we're going to do on today's edition of the podcast. See how many positions I kept on both sides of the ball to get to 53. And of course, guys, we got to start things off at the most important position in all of football, and it is quarterback. And so we started here with 3. We're going to go with 3 for the first time in a couple years, since 2019? Because in 2020, it was only Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. 2021, it was Jalen Hurts and Gardner Minshew. But they haven't kept 3 quarterbacks since 2019 when it was Carson Wentz, it was Josh McCown, and it was Nate Sudfeld. But normally, traditionally, the Eagles, with every coach they've had, has kept 3 quarterbacks, whether it was all the way back to Donovan McNabb and Kevin Kolb and Michael Vick, all the way up to Carson Wentz, Nick Foles, and Nate Sudfeld. And of course, you don't just force it. You don't keep Clayton Thorson just for the sake of keeping a 3rd quarterback, right? But I do think that Carson Strong is worth keeping on the roster. So I went with Jalen Hurts, Gardner Minshew, and Carson Strong as the Eagles' 3 quarterbacks for 2022. And I think it makes a lot of sense. Carson Strong, everybody has said it. You know, if you remove the significant knee injuries that probably cap his shelf life when it comes to the longevity of his NFL career, plus the complete lack of mobility, it's hard to remove those 2 significant things. It's why he went undrafted. But if you're evaluating him off solely passing and arm talent, he might have been a 1st-round pick. Like, he has a day 1, day 2 arm. One of the strongest arms you'll see coming out of a draft for a prospect. And I think that kind of talent is worth rostering, especially considering, is Gardner Minshew one of the best backups in the NFL? And has Jalen Hurts proven so far that he's pretty reliable health-wise, even though he missed 1 game last year? Absolutely. But Gardner Minshew, after this year, is not going to be an Eagle. Whether you trade him for assets or, he signs elsewhere and tries to compete for a starting job and you get a compensatory pick back in 2023, you got to find your long-term backup. And that could be Carson Strong. Like, if you have a backup with that kind of arm talent and you want to push things down the field and utilize A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, and all those weapons, Carson Strong, if, again, he could stay healthy, which is a huge if, he could be that option. So he's definitely worth stashing on the 53-man roster because you're not going to, I don't think you're going to be able to hang on to him on the practice squad. Like, a team will see that and say he's worth keeping on the roster, especially a team that, kind of like the Eagles, has complete long-term questions at the quarterback position. So I kept 3, Jalen Hurts, Gardner Minshew, and Carson Strong. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure you subscribe to Locked On Eagles on our YouTube page. Monday through Friday, we have daily podcasts for you in full and short clips just like this. As always, thank you for downloading, watching, and listening, and let's go Birds.